Good day, this is Jeff Greathouse. I'm once again in the Campus Religious Center at SMSU in the Fireside room. Behind me, peeking behind my shoulder, is our Last Supper mosaic that we did. Let me kind of turn. There you go. Our psalm reading once again as we march towards Sunday is Psalms 86, 1 through 10. Bend an ear, God, answer me. I'm one miserable wretch. Keep me safe. Haven't I lived a good life? Help your servant. I'm depending on you. You're my God. Have mercy on me. I count on you from morning to night. Give your servant a happy life. I put myself in your hands. You're well known as good and forgiving, big-hearted to all who ask for help. Pay attention, God, to my prayer. Bend down and listen to my cry for help. Every time I'm in trouble, I call on you, confident that you'll answer. There's no one quite like you among the gods, O Lord, and nothing to compare with your works. All the nations you made are on their way, ready to give honor to you, O Lord, ready to put your beauty on display, parading your greatness and the great things you do. God, you're the one. There's no one but you. Our Old Testament reading today comes from Ezekiel chapter 29, verses 3 through 9. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, on the 12th day, God's message came to me. Son of man, confront Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Preach against him and all the Egyptians. Tell him, God the Master says, watch yourself, Pharaoh, king of Egypt. I'm dead set against you. You're lumbering old dragon, lolling with flaccid in the Nile, saying, it's my Nile. I made it. It's mine. I'll set hooks in your jaw. I'll make the fish of the Nile stick to your scales. I'll pull you out of the Nile with all the fish stuck to your scales. Then I'll drag you out into the desert, you and all the Nile fish sticking in your scales. You'll lie there in the open, rotting in the sun. Meat to the wild animals and the carrion birds. Everybody living in Egypt will realize that I am God. Because you've been a flimsy reed crutched to Israel, so that when they gripped you, you splintered and cut their hands, and they leaned you. You broke and sent them sprawling, message of God the Master. I'll bring war against you, do away with the people and the animal alike, and turn the country into an empty desert, so they'll realize that I am God. Our New Testament reading today comes from Luke chapter 11, verse 53, and goes through chapter 12, verse 3. As soon as Jesus left the table, the religious scholars and Pharisees went into a rage. They went over and over everything he said, plotting how they could trap him in something from his own mouth. By this time, the crowd, unwieldy and stepping on each other's toes, numbered into the thousands. But Jesus' primary concern was the disciples. He said to them, watch yourself carefully so that you don't get contaminated with Pharisee yeast. Pharisee phoniness. You can't keep your true self hidden forever. Before long, you'll be exposed. You can't hide behind a religious mask forever. Sooner or later, the mask will slip and your true face will be shown. You can't whisper one thing in private and preach the other in public. The day's coming when those whispers will be repeated all over town. And there is the end of our gospel reading and our lectionary reading for the day. Amen.